He survived a random shooting in Uptown early Sunday morning. Now, Jason Miller and his family are waiting to see if he will ever walk again. Our Aaron Hassanzadeh sat down with Jason's brother, who says the uncertainty is the hardest part.
I think he was excited to live in Uptown and then get a new job in Uptown.
Scott Miller says his brother Jason was walking home from that new job as a waiter at Red Dragon when his life changed in an instant.
He never saw what happened. He heard some shots and then realized that he had been hit.
Officer,
give me a description on who fired that gun. Who randomly just fired some guns and their bullets hit some random person that had nothing to do with it blocks away.
Officers found Jason here near 22nd and Lyndale Avenue, and they also found another man who was shot in this area. Police cared for both of them until they could get them off to the hospital. Incredibly, Jason was conscious through it all until he went into surgery. But his brother, a nurse, knows how lucky he was.
He could be dead, a quarter inch in one direction. He could be dead.
A body brace helps Jason sit up and eat. He'll spend more time in the ICU and may need more surgeries. Doctors say a full recovery is possible, but it's too soon to tell.
Will he be able to walk? That's really the big question.
Jason was one of 8 people shot in Minneapolis within roughly 10 hours last weekend. But
how's that defund the police stuff working in Minneapolis? My God. This is you got to understand, this is not like Houston or New York or Chicago, some big, huge, metropolis. And this is every night. Now, Minneapolis is a city, it's a fairly large city, but what we've been covering on this channel is going on there every night, including this 10-hour span. And I'm telling you, man.
Jason was one of 8 people shot in Minneapolis within roughly 10 hours last weekend. But Scott says despite this tragedy, his family wants us all to have compassion for others.
And I know there are people that would even use something like this as an excuse to demonize this group or this group or this group. And that's the last thing Jason would want. That's the last thing anybody in my family would want.
Well, but at least we now we know who did it. At least now we know who did it. And at least who they know does all the because remember, there's nobody in custody. So this guy, let me tell you about these liberals. They don't have anybody in custody. They don't have a suspect. They don't have a description, nothing. Just some random shooting in public. And you know how it is. Bystanders always get hit. And he's already basically telling you who he thinks did it. But all the while, like, he's virtue signaling while he's telling you with no description, no suspect, no victim survey. There's not, the guy just got shot and he fell down and he doesn't know where the bullet came from. But they know there was an exchange of gunfire down the road somewhere. He's going to virtue signal and browbeat you with racism and basically impugn your character all the while telling you like, yeah, I know who did this. Duh.
And I know there are people that would even use something like this as an excuse to demonize this group or this group or this group. And that's the last thing Jason would want. That's the last thing anybody in my family would want.
In Minneapolis, Aaron Hassanzadeh, WCCO 4 News.
Police say they're recovering an average of about 3 guns a day off the streets. That is slightly less than last year, but with fewer resources.
That's slightly less than last year, but with fewer resources. Why would they have fewer resources? to, you know, recover more guns, and let me tell you how they recover guns. They go to the places where these thugs hang out and chase them through alleys and run up in their spots and respond to shootings in a promptly manner to where they can catch the bad guys on the scene or chase them down. And make traffic stops on people that are breaking traffic laws, because people who break traffic laws often break other laws. They're out there getting their hands dirty. You know, they're working with informants and confidential informants and getting all up in the muck. That's how they get these guns off the street. It's not a pretty job. It's not easy. They don't need you telling them about their training. Lord knows what their training entails. But they're not having as much success as they had in the past because of fewer resources. Funny how this guy won't say defund the police. He can't say it. Like, it's crazy. Like, you guys asked for defund the police, but now in Minneapolis, ground zero, the center, the epicenter of this, cops are hamstrung, shootings every day, all day, 10, 12 shootings every day. Little kids getting hit. Cops can't respond on time to crimes. They can't get as many guns off the streets. And it's not because of defund the police. It's just because of fewer resources. Like, it just magically happened. You know, it just happened. It wasn't no movement, marching and protesting and demanding of this. It was just something that happened. They have fewer resources. Wow, man. What would you guys do without real news, man? Hit the like button, hit the PayPal, hit the super chat, subscribe.
Police say they're recovering an average of about 3 guns a day off the streets. That is slightly less than last year, but with fewer resources. No arrests have been made in this case. We do have information about how you can help the family on our website.
The family of a 12-year-old shot and killed in Minneapolis, shocked to learn the alleged gunman posted bail and is now out of jail tonight. Thanks for joining us here at 6.
How many of y'all heard about this when you were watching Sports Center or The Jump on NBA, on ESPN? First Take, Around the Horn. I mean, y'all were watching a sports show and they talked about this animal that shot and killed this 12-year-old who's out on bond the next day. No? I wonder why.
The family of a 12-year-old shot and killed in Minneapolis, shocked to learn the alleged gunman posted bail and is now out of jail tonight. Thanks for joining us here at 6.
18-year-old Jeremiah Grady is accused of firing the fatal shots at London Bean back in September. Our Karen Scullin is live in Minneapolis tonight. Karen, Bean's family not happy with the news that Grady is out.
Absolutely. He was killed on September the 8th. The 12-year-old was killed on September the 8th, and 2 months later, his alleged killer walked out of jail.
You guys are really sending this message that it's okay to kill someone's kid, and then you just get a bond. You'll get a bond, you'll make bond, you'll get out.
Sisters finally waking up. Think about it. It takes one of their children to be killed for them to wake up. And I partially blame you guys because you guys aren't sharing these videos. I could have told this sister this months and years ago. And she could have operated accordingly. You're in a community with a bunch of killers and robbers and carjackers and home invaders and knockout game artists that receive very little consequences for their actions. that when they finally do, it's after like, I mean, when like, you know how they say, they send a brother to prison. Yeah, if you got 50 charges on your docket, we look at your rap sheet and there's 17 violent offenses on there. Eventually, some judge is going to have to put you in prison. But it usually takes a long time. And the majority of the time, now, it wasn't always this way before 2020. When they kill somebody, now they get a ankle monitor and a 2023 court date. And these people in Minneapolis are going to act like they have no idea why this is happening. That's the frustrating part. That they're going to act like they have no clue why there's no more cash bail. Why there's the bond when you're a son man, your bond is going to be very low. You know why? Because they told the world that, son men don't have money, so it's unfair to give them high bonds. And in many places, it's unfair to give them a bond, period. Dante Wright was on the streets with multiple violent offenses. There were people in hospitals recovering at the time of his death that he had shot. Dante Wright shot probably half of the people in his little town, Brooklyn Center, outside of Minneapolis. He literally shot half the people in the town when he got shot. And sisters like this went out and protested and marched. They didn't care about his victims. They cared about him. And now the court system doesn't care about your son. They care about the guy who killed him. See, you sisters don't know nothing about karma. You can't see that Dante Wright's karma was him getting shot. Think about it. The lady, 25 years on the force, mistaken her taser for a gun. 25 years on the force. That was karma. And you sisters getting killed every 6 hours now. Kids getting killed every 30 seconds. It's karma for all the protesting you did for criminals who were doing this to other people's family members.
You guys are really sending this message that it's okay to kill someone's kid, and then you just get a bond. You'll get a bond, you'll make bond, you'll get out.
Since the day 12-year-old London Bean was shot and killed on September 8th, it's been a roller coaster of emotions for his family. Suspect Jeremiah Grady was charged with the murder, but on the run. He turned himself in November 1st, but was released on $250,000 bond 1 week later.
So, this ain't like the typical case with a normal civilian, like you guys would think a person would get bond on, like, the guy come down there, hey, I came down here to the police station as soon as I got the word that you guys were looking for me. Oh my gosh, you saying I shot somebody? Hey man, I wasn't even in the area. I was out of town. But you guys are still charging me with it, so I'm going to go get my lawyer. We're going to lawyer up, and I'm on it, man. Like, I'm going to prove to you guys that I had nothing to do with this. Nah, that ain't the type of guy to get bond. Type of guy get bond in America is a little son man with a rap sheet already longer than the CVS receipt, who shot a 12-year-old and then went on a run. It was like, catch me if you can. And they had to use hundreds of hours of resources to try to track him down until he finally was like, all right, I'll come in. That's who gets bonds in America. All the time. Everywhere. And it's been like that since the 60s. But now it's even worse. Now they're getting them for murder.
Suspect Jeremiah Grady was charged with the murder, but on the run. He turned himself in November 1st, but was released on $250,000 bond 1 week later.
Hurt, confusion, upset, then just denial, like this really didn't just happen.
According to the jail log, Grady was released to a halfway house treatment program. Conditions of his release include that he is on electronic monitoring. He is to have no contact with the victim's family, he can't leave the state, and he must obey the laws. Bean's family worries that won't be enough, and Grady will take off again.
Wait a second. This paper, him signing this piece of paper, is supposed to... and the victim's family doesn't believe that this is enough. Isn't it funny how, like, when these thugs kill somebody else, these sisters are protesting, like, why he ain't get him on the white boy? Hey, if he was white, he would have got... if he was white, he would have got a bomb. Well, here you go. This is what you asked for, right? If he was white, he would have got a bomb, right? Okay, so he got a bomb. He getting the same thing white boy get, right? And listen, man, I feel terrible about the 12-year-old, but as far as like the adults in the situation, you know, Minneapolis Sun people, you know they were super woke. And you know they asked for this. And the worst part is that they demanded it. And everybody was like, you sure? And it was like, God damn it, give it to me. And it was like, all right.
According to the jail log, Grady was released to a halfway house treatment program. Conditions of his release include that he is on electronic monitoring. He is to have no contact with the victim's family, he can't leave the state, and he must obey the laws. Bean's family worries that won't be enough, and Grady will take off again.
If he's gotten away before, I wouldn't put it past anyone for a second try, and then it made it easy for him to do it.
But even with the confusion and concern, there is a lot of hope that in the end, justice will prevail.
I want to at least try to still keep hope that, like, the right thing will still be done and not be injustice. We want justice, not injustice.
Now, Jeremiah Grady's father is in jail. He is also charged for his part in the crime. The younger Grady will next appear in court on November the 30th.
Now you see why when you guys come in my live stream on Ock Nation TV every Tuesday and Friday at 9:30 p.m. Link is in the description box. When you guys come over there and you hit that StreamYard link and you join the panel and y'all start talking that what we need is the man in the home. So you need George Floyd back in his child's in the home with his children. You need Rashad Brooks back in the home with the children. You need Jacob Blake back in the home with his children. That's gonna solve all the ills in the Sun community. Y'all take these little talking points and y'all don't even think them through. Y'all even say most of these sisters are having children with thugs. Okay, let's say that's true. And then you come back on the fathers need to be back in the home. Look who the father is, man. Hit the like button, get in the comment section, subscribe, PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Peace. I'm out.
Now, Jeremiah Grady's father is in jail. He is also charged for his part in the crime. The younger Grady will next appear in court on November the 30th. We're live in Minneapolis. Karen Scullin, Fox 9.